So I titled this video, The Devil and Divinity Within, first and foremost because I thought that was a pretty cool title. But it is basically explaining the two aspects of ourselves, our ego and our true self. Now, calling the ego the devil, I'm only affectionately calling it the devil because I've mentioned this in other videos. The ego has three components to it. It gives you a sense of identity, a sense of ownership, and sense of control. The part of the ego that makes us kind of devilish, or has the potential to, is the sense of ownership and control. It gives us a sense of identity, which is totally fine. But when we really feel separate, when we really feel like we have ownership and control, the devil can come out. But the ego gets a bad rap. You need a sense of identity to experience. I need to feel like I'm here to speak to you there. To know anything needs an apparent separation. I know this phone because I appear separate from this phone, don't I? There's an object of knowledge, an instrument of knowledge, my eyes, my sense of touch, my taste if I was going to lick it. I'm not going to. But you know what I'm saying? Reality needs to appear separate so we can have the miracle of experience. So this ego, this devil, is required. This video is basically about being comfortable with a paradox, having a foot in both worlds, in the transcendent and the immanent. So let's start with the divine part of ourself first, our true self. This is where self-inquiry comes in. And if you've done self-inquiry several times, I'm sorry, but it's something we have to do, especially if you're new to Advaita Vedanta. Are you aware of the world, or is it aware of you? I'm aware of the world. Now, let's just stop here for a moment and analyze this world. There are many things that are seen that I know. There's many things that are unseen that I don't know. There are many things that are heard. There are many things that are unheard. There are many things that are smelt, unsmelt, tasted, not tasted, felt, not felt. I'm only saying this because, and this is the one I really love. I always use this example frequently. Do you know sound? Do you know silence? It means you're beyond sound and silence. This goes for all of our five senses. But let's continue on. So you're aware of the world, it's not aware of you. Are you aware of your body, or is it aware of you? I'm aware of my body. Are you aware of your feelings? Yes. Are you aware of your thoughts, or are they aware of you? I'm aware of my thoughts. Are you aware of your ego? I locate my ego, if I was to scan my body behind my eyes, in between my ears, my ego's somewhere here. I can locate ego. It's an object to me. Just like my feelings are an object. Just like my thoughts are an object. My ego, I feel like somewhere here. If we were to go beyond ego, what's that? If I go beyond ego, I'm experiencing a blank. Does the blank know me, or do I know the blank? I know the blank. What self-inquiry does is it objectifies your entire experience, doesn't it? It shows you everything I mentioned is what makes up your current experience. You're aware of all these things. You've analyzed your experience, top to bottom, inside and out, including this body. I can go from top to bottom, inside and out, objectify everything about this person I take myself to be. What's the point of this exercise? It's to show you your true self. It's to show you that your essence is pure consciousness. It has non-objective qualities that makes the objective reality known, doesn't it? And I'd just like to mention this quickly. A lot of people may get this realization and then say, yeah, but what about in deep sleep? I'm not conscious in deep sleep. Well, then you haven't done self-inquiry properly. You've just realized you're the pure witness that makes all objective reality known. Why is deep sleep a blank? Why does it feel like we're unconscious? Because everything I've mentioned has shut down. You're not aware of the world, that's shut down. You're not aware of the body and mind, it's shut down. But you can't say you're unconscious. You are just conscious of a blank. When the mind comes back online, when you start dreaming, you're conscious of a dream. When the body comes back online, all the five senses start functioning and you're aware of the world. But in any case, this true self, this divinity, this divine self of yours, you must acknowledge it. The deepest sense that you say I, you're talking about this. If you're really honest and you do this properly, When you say I, you're talking about this pure knowing, aren't you? At the deeper sense. Now, this pure knowing, does it ask any questions? Does it need any answers? No. All the questions you ask, it makes it known. All the answers you receive, it makes it known. Does this pure witness of you have any problems, or does it make problems known? See what I'm getting at? This pure witness is one, undivided, has non-objective qualities, is not studying Advaita Vedanta, is not in suffering, does not need enlightenment. You get what I'm saying? I'm only sticking with this point because if you're new to these teachings or have been around them for some time, you're going to hear these comments. There's no one here. There's nothing to do. Who are you speaking to? There is no one in suffering. All that kind of talk. What are they talking about? Your true self, your divine nature. This is so important to grasp. But here's the issue, and here's why I made this video. People can get boxed into just this identity. They make it an identity. What did I say at the beginning of this video? We need to be comfortable with paradox if we're going to progress in Advaita Vedanta. We are used to thinking, I'm this person. Very dualistic. Then we go, oh, I'm the witness. Now I'm the witness. That's your new identity. If you don't integrate this person back into yourself. This is why I said it's a paradox. So your true self is divine. Non-objective qualities, isn't studying Vedanta, has no problems, is not in suffering. Cool. That is so important to realize. But where does it leave this apparent person that you used to think you were and is still appearing? This is the person I call the devil. Affectionately. It can turn evil, but devil in the sense of it desires things. It can get angry, can't it? So if your true self doesn't need Advaita Vedanta, if your true self doesn't need spiritual practice, what's all this spiritual practice for? What's all this dualistic talking for? Like when I make these videos, I talk about you're the pure witness, and then I talk about you should do spiritual practice. You should do this. You should do that. And then people comment, who are you talking to? Who should be doing anything? This is why it's so hard to talk about Advaita Vedanta. If I was making videos on fixing cars, and I was to say, and now we remove the spark plugs, you're not going to get a comment saying, but who is the one removing the spark plugs? The spark plugs are an illusion. See, this is the problem with Advaita Vedanta. I acknowledge it. I'm not a teacher on Advaita Vedanta, but even these ancient gurus found this to be an issue. This is why it was only taught to qualified students, because it's very subtle and you can get it mixed up and confused so easily, which is why I made these videos, by the way, because I feel like Advaita Vedanta can get a bad rap. When you hear little bits of information, when you don't learn it correctly, it can sound ridiculous. Nonsense. What's the point of all this? But in any case, I've just described your true self. Now, this apparent person that we take ourselves to be, that you eventually realize it's an illusion, this illusion still persists. This apparent person wants apparent happiness from the world, is in apparent suffering, is learning Advaita Vedanta, is doing spiritual practice. And that's the thing. This person, if you want this person to be happy, it needs to do spiritual practice. It needs to do meditation to calm the mind. It needs to lower its ego by serving a higher power, or by serving others, or performing karma yoga. I think I'll make a video on karma yoga in the future. It's not another thing you have to do. It's just a switch in your mindset. Very important. But basically what I'm saying is, for this person to be happy, it needs to do things. Look, you can do any... For this person to be happy, you don't even have to follow the teachings of Advaita Vedanta. You can follow Stoicism. I love the teachings of Stoicism. So many nuggets of wisdom in that. This person needs to do certain things to make it happy. But Advaita Vedanta is for the intellect. Spiritual practice or philosophy is for the heart, is for this person. And this is what I keep repeating. You have divinity as your true self and the devil, affectionately known as your apparent self. But these two are one. They're always one. This ego makes experience known. It makes all the things you find disgusting known. It makes all the things that stun your mind into silence when you see how beautiful it is or miraculous it is known. They're yin and yang are always one. One isn't better than the other. So I just made this video to clear that up for you guys. If you ever hear these teachings of there's no one here, there's nothing to do, why are you doing spiritual practice? They're making a good point, but it's incomplete. Now you might be saying, if most of my time will be spent on doing spiritual practice for this person, then what's the point of non-duality? You are correct. If you have a deep surrendering love of God, if you truly believe everything's happening according to God's will, you have a deep surrendering nature, you don't need non-duality. If you sincerely seek God, that's what you're going to get. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita had a beautiful quote. He said, however my devotees approach me, I approach them in the same way. Everyone is following my path knowingly or unknowingly. This reality is limitless. If you truly feel and believe there is Krishna, there is Jesus, there is whatever deity you worship, you're going to get that. Seriously, it's not even made up. This is what they're saying. Reality conforms to your expectations. If you believe the world is devoid of a God, you're nihilistic, that's the world you're going to get. A cold, dark universe operating by the laws of determinism or karma. If this non-dual reality clicks in your mind, you'll see a non-dual reality. That's what I see. I see the appearance of separation, but I don't feel separate anymore. I feel like I'm hugging a reality or it's hugging me. It's so beautiful. It's so stunning. It can bring me to tears sometimes when I contemplate it. This is the path for me, non-duality. So in any case, what can this apparent person do with these highest teachings? This is what I do with it. The ultimate teaching is showing you there is an absence of separation. What does that mean, an absence of separation? It means love. Love is the absence of separation. Whenever you love someone or something, you feel one with it, don't you? The people you love in your life, when they're happy, you're happy. When they're sad, you're sad. This understanding at the highest level brings a feeling of love. Non-separation above, in quotes, separation below, in quotes. What you're doing, this is what I've done. You pull down this non-dual understanding of non-separation from the absolute into the relative. When you do this, you're expressing that oneness into the relative. You're expressing love into the relative. What does that translate into? When you're interacting with strangers or loved ones, you don't think, I'm one with this person. You realize, I am this person. This person is me in another form. How do I express love, understanding, patience, acceptance to this other version of me while still maintaining social conventions? And by that I mean, when they're a stranger, you're not going to hug them, become their best friend. You still operate like a normal person. But at the deeper sense, you know, me and this person are the same fabric. What can I do in this moment to if I can't help them, not make their life worse? They don't have to know you're thinking this. This is for you. This is for your all this journey of spirituality is for your inner peace. You're going to benefit from it first and foremost, but others will benefit as a side effect when you show them love, understanding, compassion, acceptance. What about all these evil people? As Sri Ramakrishna said, if reality was like water, water serves different purposes. There is holy water to offer to a deity. There is water to wash your face or to drink. There is water to use to scrub dirty dishes. It's all water, right? But I'm not going to be drinking the water I use to scrub the lasagna tray. You know when you scrub lasagna and it's all dirty you know what I'm saying? It's all water, right? This is where we use common sense. We can see the divinity within all creation. But whatever quality of water you are, you might have been that dirty water and you would have hung around those dirty people. And I say that not in a derogatory way. We're all water, but you're hanging around the quality of water you are currently. And that doesn't mean to judge other versions of water. You might have been really evil or bad. Now you might be moderate. You might be heading towards the path of enlightenment. So this isn't about judging. It's not about separation. It's about seeing the underlying fabric of all reality. We're all one appearing separate, and these appearances resonate with other appearances similar to them. But it doesn't mean you have to hate the other appearances. Just like if a wild tiger was to run around the streets, terrorizing everyone, ripping them to shreds, someone's going to have to put that tiger down or lock it up, aren't they? Because we can't have wild animals terrorizing society. Just like these psychopaths, these criminals. We need to lock them up, or in some countries, end it all for them. And you can do that without a sense of hate. You can just think, this version of God is not suitable for this environment right now. So we need to take care of them. But you don't have to hate them. That's what I'm saying. In any case, guys, I hope this video helped you reconcile these two selves, your true self and your apparent self. Don't box yourself into, if you just box yourself into the highest, you're going to be in suffering. You're going to go about life going, there's no one here, there's nothing to do. You're going to be very dismissive. People aren't going to find you compassionate. If you just think you're this person, that's going to cause suffering too. I'm limited, I'm separate. I was born, I'm living, I'm going to die. I need things from others for happiness. Suffering as just the person, suffering as just the ultimate. They need to reconcile within each other. Beautiful paradox reality is you need to integrate both, and then you'll find the inner peace that these ancient teachers were speaking of. I hope, as always guys, I hope it helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.